A man who sold tea on the side of the road became an engineer. This man's name is Samir. He worked after school selling tea at a small stall. Every evening, he would count the few coins he earned. Sometimes there was barely enough money for dinner, but he never complained. Instead, he used every free moment to study. He would borrow books from the library and read them under the tea stall, using the lamppost as his light source. He did this every day after school and on weekends, too. He saved up the money he earned from selling tea and bought himself a bicycle so that he could travel to and from school. A few years later, Samir got a scholarship to study engineering. He graduated top of his class and got a job at a tech company. Today, he lives in a 2-bedroom apartment with his wife and kids. And every night before bed, he reads them a story. A man was sitting in his car outside a grocery store. Suddenly, he saw a young man named Samir frantically writing equations on a piece of scrap paper. The man was surprised. He thought to himself, "Why is this guy studying so hard? He has nothing." The man decided to ask Samir a question. He said, "Why are you writing all those equations? You have nothing." Samir stopped writing and looked up at the man. He smiled and said, "One day, I will have something that's worth more than money. I will have knowledge." The man was stunned by Samir's response. He realized that he was looking at a future billionaire. So the man did something unbelievable. He took out his phone and started recording Samir. He wanted to share Samir's story with the world. So the man posted the video online. And within a few days, Samir's life changed forever. This kid is an inspiration. Life didn't get easier. Many nights Samir went to bed hungry. Many mornings he went to school without proper shoes, yet he held on to his dream of becoming an engineer. Even when people mocked him, even when his empty pockets made him feel small, he kept moving forward. There was a time when Samir was so broke, he couldn't afford new books for school. So he did something crazy. He walked barefoot 15 kilometers to the nearest library and started studying there. He would study for hours and hours, and then he would walk barefoot back home. One day, Samir's hard work paid off. He got a scholarship to one of the best engineering schools in the country. When Samir's classmates saw his worn-out shoes, they started laughing and making fun of him. But Samir didn't care. He knew that he was meant to be an engineer. Today, Samir is a successful engineer working at a great company. He proved to everyone that if you work hard and stay focused on your goal, you can achieve anything. This is the story of a poor boy who got a scholarship. Samir was a bright kid, but he was extremely poor. He lived in a small village and had to walk miles to the city to take a scholarship test. All he had in his bag was a pen and a piece of bread. The rest of the kids who took the test were rich, and they had everything they needed to succeed. Samir just had his brains and his willpower. When the results came out, Samir's name was shining on the top list. His heart raced. The boy with empty pockets was now holding a future full of promise. But the story doesn't end there. Samir went on to become a doctor, and he started his own clinic in his village so that everyone, regardless of their background, could get the medical attention they needed. That's all for today. See you tomorrow. A man named Samir graduated as a top engineer in his class. He went on to build bridges, schools, and hope for thousands of children who were once in his position. One day, while working on a bridge, someone asked him, "How do you do it, Samir? How do you manage to touch so many lives?" Samir stopped for a moment and looked at the person. He then touched his chest and said, "My pockets were empty, but my heart was always full." He explained that when he was a student, he used to see children begging on the side of the road. He would give them some money, and they would use it to buy books and study materials. The Veer believed that education was the only way out of poverty. So he started a foundation to help underprivileged students. Today, the foundation has helped over 10,000 children get an education. Samir's story is an example of how one man's trash is another man's treasure. What may seem worthless to some can be priceless to others.